Hello, I'm Brian Malow, and we're coming to you live from Lindau, Germany, where it's the site of the 7th Lindau Meeting on Economic Sciences. We have 14 Nobel laureates and 330 young economists from 60 different countries this year. And I'm speaking to one of the young economists right now, Ebony Granada, from the University of Graz in Austria.
Yes.
Actually, are you already there? Or
I'm
that's
about
where
to
you're
begin,
going next.
exactly.
So you'll be beginning your PhD at the university. So thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Of course.
And Ebony, so what kind of economist are you? There's so many different kinds here.
I am an environmental economist, a game theorist and an environmental economist.
I just talked to Reza, and she's also environmental, and behavioral, and she's an experimentalist.
Yeah.
But you're more of a theorist.
Exactly, yes. I'll be mainly using game theory, coalition formation games, the international environmental agreements.
To do what? So what kinds of questions are interesting to you?
How can we tackle climate change policy-wise? Theoretically, what will countries do when faced with different policies such as mitigation, adaptation?
Yeah. Did you always know you wanted to be an economist? Or
Yes.
was there some, really early on?
Yeah. I'm one of those. I haven't met a lot of people that always wanted to be economists. Usually
there
there's all these
something-
different...
Yeah, you told me that you have an origin story. Was there something that hooked
Yeah.
you on economics?
Yeah, so I learned about economics in high school, and I had a really great economics teacher. And she really inspired me, and I knew that's what I wanted to do for my undergrad. I did economics in my undergrad, and I've always really liked math. And in my undergrad, I discovered that all of economic theory is based on maths. So I get to combine.
So you're good at calculus and stuff, statistics.
Something like that. More
Nice.
the basic stuff, but I really enjoy it. So I like to think I'm not bad.
And you're from Australia?
Yes.
Right. What part of Australia?
The East Coast. I'm from Queensland.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about your academic path. You're just about to embark on your PhD, but so you started in Australia.
I started in Australia at the University of Queensland. I did my bachelor's in economics, and then I moved to Vienna in Austria, and I did my master's in economics at the WU, the Vienna Business and Economics University.
And that's really where you are right
That's
now,
where I
right?
am. Yes, that's where I am, and I'll be,
When do you start your PhD?
in October. So I actually found out on the first day of the meeting that I've been accepted into the program. So
Are you moving to a different city in Australia?
no, I will be working remotely.
Wow, that's excellent.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about this, but I understand you also have a very young child.
Yes, I do.
18 months?
Yes.
Yeah. How's that to balance? It's hard enough. I know you haven't started your PhD, but even in the master's program this past year and a half,
Yeah, I had.
you've been
I actually finished my thesis while I was pregnant, so they didn't really cross over. I've been able to spend the time with my son now, and now I'm about to start my PhD. But I got some advice to integrate children into my life rather than trying to do it halfway through. So that's what I did.
Yeah, when we were talking about it, I didn't realize I have a good friend, Meg Lauman, who's a biologist and a naturalist, and you know what? She did a lot of field work as a single mom with her 2 young sons traveling with her many years ago.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I'm lucky to have.
She was going to jungle environments, studying the treetops in the Amazon and stuff, and bringing her sons, teaching them how to climb trees.
That sounds like a lot of work.
As a theorist, you don't do.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's easier to be a mom as a theorist than a field worker.
I could probably say yes to that question.
Maybe you can work at home more or something.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also good to have a co-parent that does half of the work. So I wouldn't be able to do it without him. Shout out. Yeah.
So what is it that you like about economics? Why apparently you love it, right?
Yes.
And what gets you up in the morning to do the work?
So right now what gets me up in the morning is something, it's not the work right yet, but for me economics, I really believe in or know that economics is central to everything that we do, and I want to make a difference in the world, and I think it's important to understand the system that the world is based on in order to make that difference. So and I I think it can be really powerful. It can really enable people to make better decisions on a micro scale, but then also globally. So that's why it's important to me, and I think it can make a difference. And it's important that we study it, and we continue.
Excellent. I always like that. We would expect the Nobel laureates to have these noble motivations, but what's always impressed me at these meetings, and it's because you went through quite a selection process, and this is the cream of the crop, and the young scientists and economists also have really nice motivations, and you want to make a difference. It's not just that you love economics. It's that you want to.
They fit together.
That's
exactly.
great. So, what those bells we just heard, of course, means that the people are leaving this foyer and headed into the next session.
Panel discussion time.
A panel discussion. So, tell me a little bit. Let's talk about the meeting for a sec.
Yeah, sure.
Are you having a good time?
Yeah. It's been really great. It's a really nice. I'm really lucky that I'm at the beginning of my career, so it's a really nice, I think, way to start my PhD, coming from all this inspiration, all these different ideas, also just generally how to approach a PhD. It's been really great. And
tell me about a couple highlights.
Yeah, so today was probably the highlight when I got to listen to the lectures. I got to listen to the lectures because they presented these ideas that kind of what I was expected to see, that kind of question the main paradigms of economics in terms of macroeconomic models and how do we model the economy, and also not disproving but finding a new solution for a problem that was before impossible. So that was really cool for me.
And outside of the lectures, have you been interacting with any laureates? And I'm sure you've been interacting with some of your fellow economists.
Yes. So we had a laureate lunch yesterday, which was really nice. So it was intimate. We all had spaghetti bolognese, and we got to talk directly to Roger Myerson about, I guess, anything we wanted. And I got to ask a question that is something that I've been wondering in my field, even though it's not directly related to what he does. He had some input, which was, I think it would be really useful.
Is it a very technical question?
Yeah, not really. So in the literature I'm looking at, they consider that costs are negligible for a particular kind of technology. And in economics, it just seems weird to assume, costs are central to everything, money is central to everything. It was weird to me to assume that costs could be negligible, ever. But he'd said that it depends on what your focus, what you're trying to answer, and maybe at the beginning of this analysis, it makes sense to just not include costs and
it's like everything is so strange to me. It's a little outside of my comfort zone, and so some of the topics have been way over my head. But although today I saw a bunch of the next gen talks that were understandable.
The applied stuff is definitely more approachable and
some of those others had really, I didn't realize that how complex these mathematical models to model human behavior and make predictions, and I'm curious how accurate, how that can compare to physics equations and outcomes.
I can't comment on what they do in physics. It can be complex, but I guess once you know the basics, it's actually, I think, it's really beautiful how it all fits together.
And how about interactions with your fellow young economists?
Yeah, that's been really nice. I think this camaraderie, that's not something that I've experienced in a really long time. Last night we were talking in an Irish pub over something that Robert Alman was talking about, which is about the rationality of agents and how this assumption of self-interest is flawed, or isn't it flawed? So that was very nice. Those are conversations that I love to have every day. So.
Yes, and so that's one of the things I love about scientists, economists, is that in the pub after hours. That was the conversation
Yeah,
you were
exactly.
having.
I sat there, was just admiring, and I was very surprised, but it was great. Yeah.
Well, thanks. It's been nice meeting you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the meeting.
Thanks,
for
Brian.
taking the time to talk to me.
Thanks, everyone.
And we'll be back with more live interviews from Lindau, Germany.